Every year, somewhere between the frozen heart of January and the first breath of February, something happens in Washington, D.C. that the whole country is supposed to stop and watch. The President of the United States walks into the most powerful room in the world. Every seat is filled, every camera is rolling, every word has been rehearsed, debated, rewritten, and rehearsed again. And then, for roughly an hour, the leader of the free world looks directly into the eyes of the nation and says, "This is who we are. This is where we stand. This is what comes next." It's called the State of the Union. And most people have either half watched it from a couch, scrolled past the highlights, or never really asked, what actually is this thing? Where did it come from? And does it still matter? Because here's what nobody tells you about the State of the Union. Go back to 1790. The United States of America is barely a country. It's a fragile, radical experiment. 13 former colonies trying to hold themselves together with nothing but a piece of paper and a shared dream. George Washington, the first president, sits down and writes a letter to Congress. Not a speech, a letter. He calls it a report on the condition of the nation. He just wanted lawmakers to know what was going on. That's it. That's where this began. A letter. For over 100 years, most presidents just sent it in writing. Jefferson thought delivering a speech in person felt too much like a king addressing his court, and he wanted no part of that. So for 112 years, the address was just read aloud by a clerk to an empty chamber, like a corporate memo nobody asked for. Then Woodrow Wilson changed everything. In 1913, he walked into Congress himself and delivered it live in person to the room. People were stunned. Some were outraged. It felt bold. It felt theatrical. It felt, honestly, a little dangerous. And yet, here we are, a century later, still doing it, still watching. But why does it move us? Why does it still draw tens of millions of viewers, even in an age when we have every distraction imaginable sitting in our pockets? I think it's because the State of the Union is never really about policy. It's never really about numbers or legislation or foreign alliances. Even when it sounds like it is, it's about something far more primal than that. It's a nation asking itself out loud, are we okay? Think about the moments that actually cut through. It's never the statistics, it's never the charts. It's the moments when a president points to someone sitting in that gallery, a soldier, a survivor, a child, and the camera finds their face, and suddenly you're not watching politics anymore. You're watching a human being hold the weight of something real. Ronald Reagan started that tradition in 1982. He pointed to a man named Lenny Skutnik, who had jumped into the freezing Potomac River to save a plane crash survivor, and the room erupted. Not for a policy, for a person. Every president since has done it. Because they know what we know, even if we don't say it out loud. That the story of a single human being will always reach us faster than the story of a nation. Here's the part that should stay with you, though. The State of the Union is a constitutionally required act. Article 2, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution says the President shall, from time to time, give to the Congress information of the State of the Union. That's it. That's the whole instruction, vague, open, almost poetic in how little it demands, from time to time. As if even the founders weren't sure how often the truth needed to be spoken aloud to survive. And maybe that's the real question the State of the Union has always been asking, not just of presidents, but of all of us. Not, what is the state of the country? But are we paying attention? Are we still willing to look each other in the eye and tell the truth about where we are? Because a nation at its core is not a government. It's not a flag or a border or an economy. A nation is a story a group of people agree to keep telling together. And once a year, in that room, under those lights, with the whole world watching, they remind themselves that the story isn't over yet. What is? Every question, every answer, every week.